Rain hammered the roof of Blackwater County Jail. Thunder shook the old prison walls as the guards moved through dark hallways counting inmates before lockdown. Inside control room B, Officer Ryan Carter rubbed his tired eyes and checked the security monitors one more time. It was almost midnight. The prison felt strange that night. Too quiet. Ryan had worked at Blackwater County Jail for nearly 4 years. He knew every hallway, every locked gate, and almost every inmate inside the building. But one prisoner always made him
stay awake. Just a few more hours.
Ethan Cole, cell 33. Nobody knew much about Ethan before prison. The police records said he was arrested for armed robbery during a failed gas station attack near Tampa, Florida. But many guards believed he had done worse things. Much worse. Ethan never fought anyone. Never shouted. Never caused trouble. He simply watched people. Like he was always thinking. Always planning. And that scared Ryan more than violent inmates ever could. Officer Jenkins walked into the control room carrying coffee. "You look half dead," Jenkins joked. Ryan forced a smile. "Long shift." Jenkins sat beside him and looked at the camera screens. "You hear the rumor?" Ryan sighed. "Which one?" "They say somebody's helping prisoners move contraband through the old utility hallways." Ryan frowned immediately. "Again?" Jenkins nodded. "Warden thinks it's nonsense." Ryan looked back at the camera screens carefully. Old utility hallways. He hated hearing those words. Blackwater Jail was over 60 years old. Beneath parts of the prison were forgotten maintenance tunnels built decades earlier for pipes and electrical systems. Most had supposedly been sealed. Supposedly. But strange things happened inside Blackwater. Missing tools. Broken locks. Doors opening by themselves. Every guard had stories. Nobody had proof. Thunder cracked loudly outside. Then suddenly, beep! An alarm exploded through the prison. Ryan jumped from his chair. Red warning lights flashed across the control room. Inmate count mismatch in cell block C. Jenkins cursed. "Not again." Ryan grabbed his radio. Control room responding. A nervous voice answered through static. "Cell 33 is empty." Ryan froze. "Cell 33. Ethan Cole." The entire prison entered emergency lockdown within seconds. Metal doors slammed shut across every hallway. Guards rushed toward cell block C carrying flashlights and radios. Rainwater leaked through cracks in the ceiling as Ryan ran beside Jenkins toward Ethan's cell. The closer they got, the louder the shouting became. Inmates screamed from behind bars. Some laughed. Others banged on their cell doors. Chaos spread fast inside prisons, especially during escape alarms. When Ryan reached cell 33, 3 guards already stood outside. The heavy metal door remained locked. That made no sense. Officer Morales looked pale. "We checked twice," she whispered. Ryan unlocked the cell carefully. The door creaked open. Empty. The small prison bed sat untouched. The sink dripped slowly. A book rested on the floor beside the wall. But Ethan Cole was gone. Ryan checked everywhere. Under the bed. Behind the toilet. Ventilation cover. Nothing. Officer Jenkins shook his head. No broken bars. No damaged lock. No way out. Ryan's stomach tightened. How does a prisoner disappear from a locked cell? Nobody answered. Then Ryan noticed something strange. Water. Tiny muddy footprints near the back wall. Very faint. Like someone stepped there with wet shoes. Ryan crouched lower. The footprints stopped directly beside the wall. Officer Morales looked confused. "What is it?" Ryan touched the concrete carefully. Cold. Wet. Then. Tap. Tap. Hollow. Ryan's eyes widened. "Move the bed." The guards quickly pushed the metal bed frame aside. Underneath it sat an old square section of concrete slightly darker than the floor around it. Ryan grabbed a flashlight. His pulse quickened. Oh no! There was a hidden opening. The concrete cover took 3 guards to lift. The moment it moved, cold air rushed upward from the darkness below. A tunnel. Officer Jenkins stared down in disbelief. That can't be real. But it was. A rusty ladder disappeared deep underground beneath the prison. Old pipes lined narrow walls below. Ryan aimed his flashlight downward. Fresh muddy footprints covered the ladder steps. Ethan had gone down there. Officer Morales grabbed her radio immediately. "We found a tunnel beneath cell 33. Static exploded across the channel. The warden himself answered seconds later. "Nobody enters until I arrive." Ryan kept staring into the darkness. The tunnel looked ancient. Forgotten. Like it had been hidden for years. Maybe decades. Officer Jenkins swallowed nervously. "You think he escaped?" Ryan looked at the muddy footprints again. "No." Jenkins frowned. What do you mean? Ryan slowly pointed downward. The footprints on the ladder only went one direction. Down, not up. Something moved deep below them. A sound. Very faint. Metal scraping somewhere underground. Everyone heard it. Officer Morales raised her flashlight shakily. Then suddenly, clang. A loud noise echoed through the tunnel. Jenkins nearly jumped backward. What was that? Ryan grabbed the ladder instantly. I'm going down. You're crazy, Jenkins snapped. But Ryan already started climbing. The tunnel smelled horrible. Rotten water. Rust. Mold. The deeper he climbed, the colder the air became. Finally his boots touched the ground. The underground passage stretched ahead into darkness. Old pipes dripped water from the ceiling. The walls looked cracked and ancient. Ryan swept his flashlight slowly across the tunnel. Then he saw it. Fresh footprints. Ethan was nearby. Ryan moved carefully forward. Every sound echoed underground. Drip, drip, drip. Then, footsteps. Running. Far ahead. Stop, Ryan shouted. The footsteps moved faster. Ryan sprinted down the tunnel. Water splashed beneath his boots. The tunnel twisted sharply left. Then right. Finally Ryan burst into a larger underground room. And froze. Someone had been living there. Tables. Batteries. Flashlights. Bottled water. Maps. Even clean clothes. Officer Jenkins climbed down behind him and stared in shock. This wasn't made overnight. Ryan slowly approached the table. On top sat prison schedules. Guard shift changes. Security notes. Someone had studied the prison carefully. For a very long time. Then Ryan noticed something else. A television monitor. Still turned on. Connected to prison security cameras. Officer Morales arrived seconds later. How is that possible? Ryan's face turned pale. Someone inside the prison had helped Ethan. They had to. Nobody else could access security feeds. Suddenly a voice echoed behind them. Calm. Quiet. You should not have come down here. The officers spun around instantly. Ethan Cole stood at the far side of the underground room, wearing dark clothes instead of prison orange. Water dripped from his hood. But what terrified Ryan most was the smile on Ethan's face. Officer Jenkins pulled his weapon immediately. Don't move. But Ethan did not look afraid. Not even a little. Instead, he glanced upward toward the ceiling, toward the prison above them. Then he said something strange. They still think I escaped. Ryan tightened his grip on the flashlight. What are you talking about? Ethan looked directly at him. I never left. The cameras never lied. Nobody moved. Cold water dripped from the tunnel ceiling, while Ethan Cole stood smiling in the darkness. Officer Jenkins kept his gun raised. Get on the ground, he shouted. But Ethan stayed calm, almost relaxed. Ryan noticed something strange immediately. Ethan was not breathing hard. Not sweating. Not scared. Like he expected this moment. Officer Morales whispered beside Ryan. How long has he been down here? Ryan did not answer, because another question terrified him more. How long had Ethan been leaving his cell without anyone noticing? Ethan slowly looked around the underground room. You guards think prison walls stop people, he said quietly. They don't. Jenkins stepped closer. Enough talking. But before anyone could grab him, the lights went out. Complete darkness swallowed the tunnel. Officer Morales screamed. Ryan heard metal crashing somewhere nearby. Then running footsteps. Fast. Very fast. Flashlights. Jenkins shouted. Ryan fumbled for his flashlight and turned it back on. The underground room was empty. Ethan was gone again. The officers searched the tunnels for nearly 2 hours. Nothing. No sign of Ethan. The underground passages twisted beneath the prison like a maze. Some tunnels ended at broken pipes. Others led towards sealed concrete walls. One even reached an abandoned boiler room nobody had used in decades. But Ethan vanished completely. Finally the warden ordered everyone back upstairs. Rain still pounded the prison roof as Ryan entered the security office beside the control room. The warden slammed papers onto the desk angrily. This prison is becoming a joke. Nobody spoke. The room felt heavy with fear. Warden Harris pointed toward Ryan. You found the tunnel. Good. Then he pointed toward the security monitors. So explain how an inmate disappears from a locked cell. Ryan stared at the screens. I don't know yet. The warden's face hardened. You better figure it out fast. Officer Jenkins crossed his arms. We should check every security camera from tonight. The room went silent. Ryan nodded slowly. Yes. That was the only thing left. The cameras never lied. At least, that was what everyone believed. 20 minutes later, Ryan sat beside Officer Morales reviewing footage from cell block C. Rain crackled softly against the control room windows. Monitor after monitor replayed the prison hallway. 11:43 p.m. Guards counting inmates. 11:51 p.m. Lights flickering. 11:57 p.m. Nothing unusual. Ryan leaned closer. Wait. Morales paused the video. Cell 33 appeared clearly on screen. Ethan's locked cell. Ryan narrowed his eyes. Something moved. Very slightly. Zoom in. The image sharpened. Ryan's heartbeat slowed. The cell door never opened. Nobody entered. Nobody left. But at exactly 11:58 p.m., Ethan vanished. Officer Morales stared at the screen. Oh my God. 1 second Ethan sat on his bed. The next second, he was simply gone. Like disappearing magic. Ryan replayed it 3 times. Same result. No glitch. No interruption. Ethan vanished without the door opening. Officer Jenkins looked disturbed. That's impossible. Ryan kept staring. No. He pointed carefully at the screen. Look closer. Morales leaned forward. Then she saw it too. A shadow. Very quick. Near the back wall of the cell. Ryan's stomach tightened. The tunnel entrance. Jenkins frowned. But the bed covered it. Ryan nodded slowly. Not completely. Ethan had hidden the opening perfectly from camera angles. Every night he could slip underground without guards seeing him. Officer Morales whispered softly. How long has he been doing this? Nobody answered. Because none of them wanted to know. Ryan rewound the footage further back. Hours earlier. 9:14 p.m. Ethan sat reading on his bed. Then suddenly, a guard appeared at the cell. Ryan paused immediately. Officer Jenkins leaned closer. That's Officer Daniels. Ryan felt cold. Daniels worked night security. Quiet man. Never caused trouble. The footage showed Daniels stopping beside Ethan's cell. Looking around carefully. Then slipping something through the bars. A small object. Ethan grabbed it quickly. Ryan's voice became low. Zoom in. Morales enhanced the footage. Keys. Officer Daniels had given Ethan keys. The room exploded with shouting. No way. He's helping him. Ryan stared silently at the screen. Officer Daniels had worked inside Blackwater for nearly 11 years. Trusted, respected, and somehow involved. The warden cursed loudly. Find Daniels now. A guard rushed from the room immediately. Ryan kept watching the footage carefully. Something still felt wrong. Very wrong. Because Daniels giving Ethan keys explained part of the escape. But not all of it. Then Ryan noticed another detail. At 10:32 p.m., Ethan climbed into the tunnel. But according to prison records, Daniels was somewhere else during that exact time. Ryan checked the timestamps again carefully. His pulse quickened. That's impossible. Morales looked over. What? Ryan pointed at the screen. The timestamps don't match. Jenkins frowned. What do you mean? Ryan opened another camera angle. Then another. Every hallway camera showed slightly different times. Some off by seconds. Others by nearly 2 minutes. Ryan's blood ran cold. Someone had changed the prison camera system. On purpose. Suddenly the lights flickered again. The monitors blinked once. Then all screens turned black. Every camera feed died at the same time. Officer Morales gasped. No. The emergency backup system activated seconds later. But when the screens returned, one monitor changed. Cell block D. A single message now appeared across the screen. You should have stopped looking. Officer Jenkins stepped backward slowly. The room became completely silent. Then the prison alarm exploded again. Beep, beep, beep. Ryan grabbed the radio instantly. Control room report. Panicked screaming answered him. Inmate assault in the medical wing. Another voice shouted over the radio. Officer down. Ryan and Jenkins sprinted from the control room immediately. Boots thundered across prison hallways while alarms screamed overhead. The medical wing sat on the far side of the prison, near solitary confinement. When Ryan arrived, chaos had already spread. Guards pinned inmates against walls. Blood covered the floor. Medical carts lay overturned. And near the center hallway, Officer Daniels sat handcuffed against the wall. Bruised. Bleeding. Terrified. Ryan stopped cold. Daniels looked up desperately. I didn't mean for this to happen. Jenkins grabbed him roughly. Where's Ethan? Daniels shook violently. I don't know. Ryan knelt beside him. You helped him escape. Daniels' eyes filled with panic. You don't understand. Then explain. Daniels looked around nervously. Like somebody was watching. Then he whispered something that made Ryan's stomach drop instantly. He was never escaping the prison. Ryan felt ice crawl through his chest. What? Daniel swallowed hard. He leaves because somebody inside wants him to. Ryan stared at him silently. Who? Daniels opened his mouth. Then suddenly a gunshot exploded nearby. Bang! Daniel's body jerked violently. Blood splattered across the hallway wall. Officer Morales screamed. Ryan spun around searching for the shooter. But all he saw at the far end of the hallway was a dark figure disappearing behind a locked security door. And in that moment, Ryan realized something horrifying. The person helping Ethan Cole was still inside the prison.